So let's talk about fonts, and for this lesson we're just going to hide Premiere because we're not going to need it. But what we are going to need is access to the Creative Cloud application. I'm going to access that on the Mac at the upper toolbar in the upper right hand corner. For all my Windows friends, you can access the Creative Cloud application from your toolbar lower right hand corner of your screen. Now, in most cases, you might be on the Apps tab, but what we're going to need to access is the Assets tab that I was just on. Now, you'll see right now I do have some fonts synced onto my machine, but what I want to do is I want to get in and manage the fonts that I am working with. So once I click on Manage Fonts, I'm going to be brought to the typekit.com website to my account. And you'll see right now, right in the screen in front of you, I have 46 of 100 fonts synced on my machine. Now, 100 fonts, where did that come from? What I want to do is I want to navigate over to the Plans section of the website, and you'll see that for me, based on the Creative Cloud plan that I happen to be subscribed to, which is the Portfolio plan, you'll see that I have access right here to 100 synced fonts at once. Now, if you happen to be in the Performance category, you would have 200 fonts synced at once, but to be honest, 100 fonts is quite a lot. Now, there is a free version that gets you 20 synced fonts at once, but again, right now we're just dealing with our 100 synced fonts. Now, that does bring the question, how do you actually find fonts and sync them? I'm just going to head back to the page that I was on before. Let's choose Acumen Pro as the font as an example. Now, I found this family of fonts inside the Typekit, and I'll show you how to find them in just a second. And once I'd selected that family, you'll see that if I come into the Manage option, most of the fonts in this family I don't actually have installed. You'll see that as I start to scroll down here, you'll see sync, 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 sync. That means that none of these fonts are on my system. So if I keep scrolling down, there you go, you'll see there's 2 fonts from this family that I currently have installed. And let's just pick a third one. I'm just going to come way down. Let's come to this one, Acumen Pro Semi-Condensed Ultra Black Italic. Wow, that's a long font name. I'm just going to navigate over it. I'm going to sync that font, and you'll see that in a matter of seconds, a little window is going to pop up telling me that this font has been added to my system, and it's now available for me to use in any application that I need to use it in. I'm just going to step back for a second. You'll see that it still says that I have 46 synced fonts, but if I refresh the window, as soon as I do, you'll see that that's now been set to 47 fonts. But what I'd like to do now is get in and just find some fonts to work with. So how do we go about doing that? What I'm going to do is head back to the main Typekit page. Once we're there, we can get in, and depending on how you like to search, there's a few ways that you can do it. You can come in and choose by style if you want, or maybe you just want to get in and search the Typekit to find the font that you want to work with. You'll see that they even have some popular fonts right down here towards the bottom of the screen. Now let's just use the Sign Painter font as an example. What I'm going to do is simply click on that family, and once the page loads up and I have the family here, you will see that I do have access to 2 of the 7 fonts in this family. The other 5 I would have to pay for them if I needed to use them in my project. And much like I'd shown you before, to sync one of these fonts, fairly straightforward. All you need to do is simply click the sync button. In a couple seconds, I'll be told that that font has now been sunk inside of my account. And what I'm now going to do is head right back up to the top of the screen here to my synced fonts link. I'm going to click on that so that I'm brought back to my Typekit so that I can see the updates that have been made with any fonts that we've now sunk that are new to our account. Now, as you'll remember, House Slant was the font that we sunk, but if we head on over and click on Manage, I'll be brought to the Sign Painter font family so that we can get in and access any other fonts that were part of that family by quickly clicking on the sync button. All right, enough about fonts. It's time to get back into Premiere and actually create our first title.